What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 5, part 2 of the Gamemates podcast. My name is Jack Valentine. I'm joined, as always, by Duncan Chalmers.
Oh shit, what up?
Now, for us...
It's
that boy. For us, it seems like mere moments since we were doing this last, because it was. We just got done recording part 1, which you probably watched earlier in the week. Hopefully you did. Otherwise, fuck you.
Whoa!
But this is segment 2, where straight off of the sort of pre-Gamescom show earlier in the week, bear in mind we are recording this on Tuesday, so yes, it might seem like old news now, but it wasn't when we were recording this. We've had a ton of news today, Duncan, about various different things. Mm-hmm. But one thing in particular that I've been a bit of a skeptic about, I know you're staying steadfast and you're very confident about it.
Always. No, I wasn't. I was not always confident. No. Not always confident in this topic. Words are hard.
They are, yeah. Rise of Iron. Destiny's latest expansion, Duncan.
Yeah.
September 20th, Xbox One, PS4, no last-gen consoles.
No PC.
No PC.
That's fair. That's not news.
So they just erupted with news today.
Yeah, they gave us everything.
They put out an 8-minute developer diary kind of video with a ton of footage in it that we haven't seen before.
Oh, man, yeah.
We got, preview of some of the story cutscenes that have me kind of like, ooh, cool.
Yeah, it is.
There's a bit of the new Strike, a bit of revamped Strikes, Sepix perfected.
Yeah, that was cool. I
thought that was good. New multiplayer content, which I'm sure we'll come to last, because that's probably the least exciting of it all. Or maybe we should just get that out of the way immediately.
We could do it now, yeah.
As well as some information about raid and gear sets and stuff like that. So yeah, let's go in. Campaign, obviously, we know. This is the one thing we've had like a lot of information about going over. We've got, some ancient threats re-emerging, blah, blah, blah. Lord Saladin, the last living Iron Lord in the Destiny universe.
Wolfmaster Saladin.
He sort of has a calls to arms, so you've got to go up this big mountain to the ancient home of the Iron Lords and take
Similar
it back.
to Skyrim's main quest.
Yeah, throat of the world, yeah. I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, maybe they, the Greybeards.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, campaign. It's going to be a new campaign, obviously. A bunch of other new stuff. So yeah, first off, we'll go into the multiplayer first, because that's probably the stuff that I care about the least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fresh off the fucking griddle, Duncan. Private matches.
Yeah.
Finally coming to Destiny. To some it's probably a big deal, especially within the competitive communities. But I just don't care. I mean, it's like we've said, like, I'm sure it'll be fun to have a go, and we'll have a bit of a go at it.
They did just confirm that you can get your Crucible bounties done in custom matches.
Correct.
Which is excellent, because that's reason for me to get them done.
Right.
And also just like a good move to the community, because not everybody wants to dive into Crucible for a couple hours a day.
And also I think that the limitations of Crucible are, I can only assume every map is going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, the playlists
exclusively
now,
on PS4, at least.
Yeah, exactly. The playlists and the random nature of Crucible now, I understand that you don't want to just play the same map over and over, but where are the Year 1 maps? Like...
We can play custom maps with vehicles.
Yeah.
Custom matches with vehicles.
Yeah.
That just dawned on me.
Yeah. And so that to me is the good part about it. But it's something they should have had from the get-go.
Oh, absolutely.
But Activision gonna Activision.
I'm very curious to see how much customization we'll be able to do.
Yeah.
Because if we can set it with, like, maybe not like mayhem rules, but like grenades recharge super fast and stuff like that. Just little things.
Burns.
I want to have fun with it. Oh my god!
Can you imagine? void burns and stuff like that. That'd be hilarious. Next 3 new maps coming to Rise of Iron. They look like new maps. I know nothing really stood out to me.
The second two, the one on Clovis Bray and then in the garden, looked interesting to me because they felt Halo-y in the symmetricality.
Yeah.
But that was off of a handful of screenshots and tiny little
sort of pan throughs.
So it's not a fair thing to say good or bad. But
what was the new game mode called again?
Nope, not Singularity. Something like
Skirmish?
that. No. Something.
So there's a new
Kill
game
confirmed.
mode. Yeah, basically it's kill confirmed. So when you kill an enemy, they drop what looks exactly like an engram. If you pick up the engram, you get a point. If the enemy picks it up, they deny you the point. So it's kill confirmed from Call of Duty. But I think that works really well in Destiny. That will probably be really good. And I know I like game modes like that because I hate game modes that encourage people to sit in corners and just snipe.
Yeah.
And not actually go for objectives. You know there's going to be people that will grind bounties and so they won't go for the tags. But that, I mean,
that's
it's
yeah,
exactly. So all of that's going to be that's what it is really. I didn't really expect more. You know, I don't really care about Crucible and Destiny very much. So they didn't really give us much of an update on Trials or Iron Banner, but we have seen the new gear.
Yeah.
Which this is one of the main things that was really surprising to me, was the fact that they just so openly were like, yeah, here's the new Trials gear, and like here's the new Iron Banner gear. The Iron Banner gear, I thought that's what we've been seeing, but now I'm more prone to believe that has been Vanguard gear or Quest reward gear, because the Iron Banner gear, there's just slight variations. Like on one of the Hunters things I noticed, he had like this kind of fur kilt thing on one side, but then the Iron Banner version that they showed was chainmail. So I'm like, I don't know which one's which really.
I kind of like that because it doesn't force you to play PvE to get like the cool gear.
Yeah. And I hope that there's must be some side to it where the Iron Banner gear is going to be just a little extra flair to it type thing.
Exactly.
If you want to play Iron Banner, do that. But if you want to look like the Iron Lord, then you don't have to. So
maybe there's more ornaments and stuff.
Yeah. And that's it. The ornaments is another new feature. They spoke about briefly before how you were going to be able to sort of customize and alternate the look of certain pieces of armor. Now it seems like when it comes to helmets and shoulder pieces and stuff, you're going to be able to apply this kind of like ghostly kind of image to it. It makes me think of what like every MMO eventually gets with like the sort of transmogging and stuff, and just adding crazy flair to stuff. I don't know if I'd do it very much. It looks silly enough to maybe have one set of armor that you do that to, but the rest of it you don't bother with.
Well, if I can get something cool, like just like paint smears and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't want my character to look bright and obnoxious personally.
Right.
But then Sebastian with his Chancellor de Geste.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gonna own that
so
hard.
But then the thing that I really liked was what we saw for ornaments or ornamentation on the exotics. Because exotic weapons, you get, it seems like 2 options.
Yeah.
And it actually lets you completely change the look of it. So in the trailer we see Hawkmoon. Obviously Hawkmoon's standard colour being that sort of the silver with the feathers. The first one makes it more of a white frost with blood splattered on it, and then the next one is a matte black with golden feathers.
That was sharp.
Which looked awesome. And then it just kind of showed a couple of others, like Monte Carlo it showed with like a black finish on it, and they kind of said, you know, we've got more exotics coming back. They showed Thorn in the trailer, so Thorn is coming back. Nothing's gonna really
nothing's gonna piss me off more than Iron Banner Thorn.
Nothing's gonna make it feel like it did to get Thorn in year 1.
Yeah.
That grind to get Thorn in year 1 was so cool, but such a big reward when you did get it, such a huge payoff. But
I really do want those exotic bounties back.
Yeah. Other than that, though, they talked a little bit about artifacts, and so the 8, they're kind of reimagining artifacts in the way that you have 8 new ones that are like these crests and shields that represent one of each Iron Lord, and they all have different stats. Like one of them will let you shoot an enemy without killing it, and it lets the enemy help you for a while. One of them's Infinite Sprint, which seems like a no-brainer. That's the one that everyone's probably going to want. And he said something, I didn't catch it in the trailer, I'd have to watch it again, but there was something about how they alternated every week. Like you have to...
Probably drops.
Different
I imagine that might tie into that Archon's Forge that we saw very little about.
Yeah.
Speculating, obviously.
Yeah, so... Yeah, and that was they talk a little bit about the new social space, but we've known a little bit about that already. You do a mission there to take it back, and then you have a new social space. The other thing that I thought was really interesting was the fact that they typically, every time there's a raid in the works, they play it so close to their chest and don't talk about anything. We knew for a while it's called Wrath of the Machine, which I think is a cool title. But then again, they just blew that. Like before, all we'd seen was that very quick glimpse of all 6 Guardians running across the top of the wall and the huge arm of this kind of weird Zamboni.
Now they called it a Death Zamboni.
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah, the Death Zamboni. It's got like this massive sort of smashing arm ball thing. And they show you quite a chunk of footage of them running up to the wall and then
running away from it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, honestly, I love that because, and especially because it's like the final big DLC content. I found that after playing Halo, and like every Halo game ever, there's that chase scene of like, holy shit, we gotta get out of here.
Right.
And Destiny, vanilla Destiny, after you kill a god,
right.
I feel like that instead of warping out, you had to get on your Sparrow and something fell, and then like if you look straight down, there's like it's a hallway basically, and I was really hoping for a ramp and chase scene out of there,
right,
and just to get that proper Bungie feel.
Right.
That being said, this isn't Halo, so obviously there's differences there, but just the fact that there's now like we got to get the fuck out now. That's cool to me.
Yeah, with that mission Lost to Light, they proved that they could do that in Destiny too, right? And that's not something they can ever replicate because that was the great hoodwinked moment where it's like, mission complete, and then the mission complete icon actually starts flickering and disappears.
Oh, that was so good.
And then like fucking Oryx comes out. Such a cool mission. The first time you do it, and then after that it's kind of. But it's always fun to just run. Like it's just a different because you're so used to just mindlessly killing everything in front of you. But and then again, the big thing that surprised me, showing the raid gear. Like they do like the camera pan thing, they show it, and quite frankly, I think it looks fucking lame. Like I'm someone who criticized both Crota's raid gear and King's Fall raid gear because
King's Fall was boring.
And so was Crota's, honestly, though. It's just the same hive, kind of like, it's all like bony, and I will say I think that part of me thinks that Crota's was a little more interesting, especially on the Warlock side. I'm mainly a Warlock. I do like Hunters too. But for the Warlock, you had basically the Death Singer's cowl, where it had the huge neck piece and stuff, and that looked cool, but the Kingsfall stuff looks like garbage.
It's just boring. There's no personality to it. It's like, here's some stuff that looks like bones.
Yeah.
Because you're killing guys who are bad and evil and bad.
Yeah.
So obviously they have bones that they need to display.
Vault of Glass, I mean, I honestly don't even really remember it now, but I know it did have that kind of Vex look to it, like the pieces of metal jagged and stuff. But I think they're talking about the Siva threat now. It's like this biological machine thing, and then you see all over the Cosmodrome these like those big veins of like they look like wires, but it's like fleshy mass that's moving. And then I can only imagine what the raid gear is going to look like, and it's just this fucking like red plate, and
it's
like
Siva proof plates. Book it.
Oh,
book it.
Boring.
But also, I'm waiting to see the shaders, because the shaders could make that really interesting. I think a good chatter white with the white, I don't know if that stuff's chroma or not. It's probably not, but the same kind of effect. Chatter white, old guard.
Especially when you put it side by side.
Future War Cult stuff.
Oh, well, that's one thing we haven't seen yet. Future War Cult. And if you're not Future War Cult, you're fucking doing it wrong, alright? Future War Cult is the fucking best. Lakshmi. Oh, my bae.
Yeah.
I like them metal.
I finally got
lips.
All the ships.
Oh, you bastard. Well, probably because I haven't played in like a month consistently.
Well, I finally have all the ships, so now I can't get them anymore.
Yeah, I'm almost level 25, so I feel like I should just hop on sometime.
Yeah, you gotta clear that. I need to.
We've got to play Destiny sometime.
We do.
Yeah, because this has got me back in now. I'm ready to... I want to grind it out and at least get to like 330 before this comes out, because I know then it doesn't really matter, because I'll get a piece of gear immediately that will be just like...
Iron Banner's on, right?
Now, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't care anymore.
No, but it is a good way to get good gear.
True.
We'll hop on like Monday night and power through it all, because all the power-ups. Every time you're on, just grab some of the bounties. Easiest way to cheat.
But I'll grind some like maybe some strikes or something and get the bounties out of the way.
I'm always down for strikes.
Yeah, maybe we could do that later. I've got nothing going on.
Yeah. Well, there you
go. But yeah, like I don't know, like that Future War Cult stuff will be exciting to me, because I know there'll be, because typically it's always based off the previous generation of gear, right? So I know that the new Monarchy stuff we've seen, and it's based off, and it's only on the Titan that we've seen it, but it's based off current spec Vanguard Titan gear. But the cool thing about it is it's got like the little new Monarchy symbol, and it's made into like these diamond shapes, and it's just all over it. So that to me looks awesome. But then I
just don't like the Hunter Vanguard stuff right now.
Yeah,
the Bog stuff was cool at first. I don't like the little sash. It's not Worf enough to be a sash in a sci-fi universe for me. It just looks like it's, for lack of a better term, to cover up their lack of originality.
Because it's like every faction has one class that's based off vanilla content. So I think that right now Future War Cult Warlock is vanilla, and that's why I love it so much. And for you with the Hunter, I'm pretty sure that might be vanilla too.
I can get behind that.
But then Titan is Dark Below, and then Dead Orbit Hunter I know is Dark Below, and then I think House of Wolves for the Titan for New Monarchy. Anyway, so I don't know really, but it's I'm definitely interested to see the faction gear. More than anything, I think I'm just ready to have because essentially where we were, because what was the maximum light level before? 300, and then it gone to 335.
Yeah, 335.
Right?
It was 300, then 320. Yeah.
But where was light level essentially when we started playing Taken King? Was it like 200 or something? Because I'm curious, because now we're going 335 to 385, which seems like a pretty big jump.
It's not as big as it was, but it's probably going to be a slower grind because of that.
I assume so. Yeah. But anyway, needless to say, I'm fairly excited for this. I think it will be what needs to happen to get me back into Destiny. Because I was the same before Taken King. I was very much let out of it. Then I had the incentive of we all started getting together more and playing, and I will play this, but I wonder at the same time what compromises I will make outside of that in terms of other games coming out. Because I know Mafia 3 comes out right after. I'm excited for that. And I know
there's a decent chunk of time between them.
True. Because I know that's the sort of thing you'll pass through the campaign in Destiny in a matter of hours. So.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I think that about concludes it, I think, really, doesn't it? Unless you've got something else.
I was just thinking about that Archon's Forge.
Oh my god, yeah, that's a take it away on that.
Just because it looks like it's just a sweet Court of Oryx replacement. And I know people who didn't spend any time in the court, and now the gear's useless, right?
Yeah.
So why bother?
Exactly.
But it won't be. And this one looks cooler because I like the Fallen a lot. I think they're the coolest species in the game. And I think that in the next game it would be really cool if we could play as one. Hint, hint. So just the mere idea of doing something like that is very appealing to me. So hopefully we'll get that going, and yeah, I think that's really it.
Yeah. The Archon Forge to me looks pretty cool, and I mean, it looks like they're kind of just giving us an excuse to go and hit stuff with a giant axe.
I'm really hoping that it means that we can get 6-player patrols. I want them to just kind of sneak that in and not make a big deal out of it. And
that would be pretty cool.
Let the fans be like, wait a second, what did you just say? And then just Twitter storm that.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
I think if nothing else, something that they made a little bit of a deal about it with one of the last streams with how the Cosmoderms addressed it, and I know you only recently saw that with the way the snow is now blanketed and everything's kind of being torn apart. But something that they always promised with Destiny was it's going to be this shared world shooter to which over the course of the years you will see the consequences to your battles and your actions, and I don't feel like we've Taken King was the start, because at least with Taken King
drug on for too long though.
For sure, but with Taken King it was the idea of you killed this guy in a raid, and now the story continues from that. But now, for the first time ever, you're seeing the husk of that public event tank you killed so many times over the course of the last 2 years, and I wish it had happened sooner, but it makes me excited to think that when Destiny 2 drops inevitably in 2017, and I would hope before September of 2017. I'm hoping for a summer because
honestly, I'd rather it take longer. I'd rather
I feel
out of season, I should say.
I feel like by the time even April of next year rolls around, look at where we were with Taken King, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like this is essentially a smaller expansion because there's only one new strike, right? Like there's less content, but I feel like they're giving you more reasons to keep playing for the gear and the collectathon side of things. But I think maybe by April even of next year, if we have a release date and it's like a summer game.
But that also doesn't give as much time for what I'm hoping with old raids and stuff, right?
True.
Because they said all class items except for the ones from raids are going to be infusable.
Yes.
That makes it seem like we're going to get updates and revamps, and I would like time with those.
The free April update of 2017 will be...
Bring both of them forward.
All raids back.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it's just, hey, they're moderately difficult... You know how to do them. Go in and get... It's just a grind to get the gear, because then you can infuse the gear.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
I'd like a good reason to kill Atheon again.
Yeah, me too. Fucking hate that guy. Thanks for tuning in, guys. This has been part 2 of episode 5. We're going to have probably a ton more Destiny content coming your way, and I know either myself, probably not so much myself, but I know Duncan is probably likely to just be streaming Destiny now and again.
Yeah, I put some prison stuff up last night, then realized that there's too much going on in the world of MOBAs with Twitch, and wasn't sure if I was going to keep going, so I canceled a little early. You didn't get to see me get a 335 Warden's chest piece on my Hunter, but I don't think anybody... Well, actually, no. Nobody was watching anyway, so that's all good.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little more content coming for you later this week.
Yeah, a big recap on what I'm hoping will be a lot of surprises.
Yeah, but by the time you see this, you've probably already read the news on Destiny. But if you haven't, go check out what's new if you're looking for a reason to get back into the game, because it is actually looking fairly promising. So
you can't beat the gunplay at the end of the day.
Yeah. Thanks very much for tuning in, guys. For everything else Destiny related, keep it right here. We'll have a ton more content going up in the coming weeks and months. So thanks for tuning in. See you guys around.